we invite you to join us for an interlude of melody, just melody. "30 minutes of musical charm from William Flynn and his orchestra with Rita Stafford, the Parkettes, and featuring the romantic voice of Geoff Brooke."
I feel a song coming on.
And that's Geoff Brooke.
And I'm warning you, it's a victorious, happy and glorious news train. I feel a song coming on. It's a melody full of the laughter of children out after the rain. You'll hear a tuneful story ringing through your love and glory, hallelujah. And now that my troubles are gone, let those heavenly drums keep on drumming, 'cause I feel a song coming on.
Hello, friends. Once again, let me offer you a big friendly welcome to Melody, Just Melody. I'm Geoff Brooke, your singing host on the program, and as you probably know by now, this is a show in which we try and cater to the musical taste of Mr. and Mrs. Everyman. As usual, you'll find we try and keep the accent on melody. But there's music of all types here to enjoy. Folk songs, novelties, and of course, plenty of ballads like
Someday, when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Ah, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight.
With each word your tenderness glows, tearing my fears apart. And the lump that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart.
So lovely, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
Our talented conductor, William Flynn, has undoubtedly established himself as a man of distinction, musically speaking, of course. And here's a fine example of his talent in the form of an arrangement of Linger a While. you've heard from me, and you've heard from the orchestra, so I imagine the time is ripe to introduce a charming young lady. Here is lovely Rita Stafford with a clear soprano voice and the kind of vocal tone that seems to be just tailored to measure for the modern ballad. I won't ask you what you're going to sing, Rita, because I've heard you rehearsing Too Late Now from Fred Astaire's picture, Wedding Bells. So just go ahead and sing.
Too late now to forget your smile, the way we cling when we've danced a while. Too late now to forget and go on to someone new. Too late now to forget your voice, the way one word makes my heart rejoice. Too late now to imagine myself away from you. All the things we've done together, I relive when we're apart. All the tender fun together stays on in my heart. How could I ever close the door and be the same as I was before? Darling, no, I can't anymore. It's too late now. All the things we've done together, I relive when we're apart. All the tender fun together stays on in my heart. How could I ever close the door and be the same as I was before? Darling, no, I can't anymore. It's too late
Too Late Now was sung so tastefully by Rita Stafford in this issue of our musical grab bag called Melody Just Melody. And this is Geoff Brooke calling the tunes as William Flynn and I present them to you. As this show runs on a fairly regular pattern, at this spot in each program, Bill and I usually try to come up with something that's a little away from the regular run of songs. In other words, we endeavor to find something that really tells a story. The tale I have in mind on this occasion is all about a certain social function on the Emerald Isle.
Have you heard of Phil the fluter from the town of Ballymuck? Sure, the times were going hard on him. In fact, the man was broke. He sent an invitation to his neighbors, one and all, as to how he'd like their company that evening at a ball. And when riding out, he was careful to suggest to them, if they find a hat of his convenient to the door, the more they put into it whenever he requested them, the better would the music be for battering on the floor.
with a toot of the flute and a diddle on the fiddle, hopping in the middle like a heron on a griddle.
Oh, up and down and cut across and over to the wall. Oh, heading with a gaiety and fill the fluter's ball. There was
was Mr. Daniel Doherty, who kept the running dog, and little Crooky Billy from the Terralachan bog. There were gals from every barony and boys from every port, and the beautiful Miss Brady in her private ashen cart. Along with them came the bouncing with her taffety. Little Mickey Mulligan was also to the fore. Rosanna Flynn and Mary Ann O'Flaherty, the pride of Ballyhooly and the rose of Petramore.
With a toot on the flute and a diddle on the fiddle, hopping in the middle like a heron on a griddle.
Up and down and cut across and over to the wall. Oh, hadn't we the gaiety that filled the Fluters' ball? And that's the halfway mark in this program of Melody, Just Melody. But before we continue, here's something we'd like you to hear. There are smiles that make us happy. There are smiles that make us blue. There are smiles that steal away the teardrops as the sunbeams steal away the dew. There are smiles that have a tender meaning that the eyes of love alone may see. But the smiles that fill my life with sunshine are the smiles that you give to me. Oh, those smiles sometimes make me blue. They steal the teardrops like the sunbeams on the dew. And there are smiles that have a tender meaning that the eyes of love alone may see. But the smiles that fill my life with sunshine are the smiles that you give to me. And that little drop of Dixieland was what I had in mind when I said you could expect some variety in Melody, Just Melody. And from Smiles, which was respectfully dedicated to the jazz lovers, I'd like to take you right to our guest star spot. And here to fill it on this occasion is one of Australia's really top stars of the trumpet. It's Freddie Thomas, and I know that he'll thrill you with his golden tone as he plays the Victor Young composition, Stella by Starlight. You've just heard Freddie Thomas with a glorious trumpet version of Stella by Starlight. It's interesting to note that Victor Young wrote that music purely as background for a movie. The melody proved so appealing that lyrics were added and bang, a brand new ballad was born. I think perhaps in a later program I might sing it for you, and then you can decide for yourselves if the new lyrics were worthy of such a lovely melody. But right here, to balance our program, let's have a song for Mum and Dad. Do you remember?
I love you truly, truly, my dear. Life with its sorrow, life with its tears, fades into dreams when I feel you are near. For I love you truly, truly, dear. Gone is the darkness, gone my doubt and fear. For I love you truly, truly,
Ah, yes, they were the days. I can just hear you saying it. Well, if you're in a reminiscent mood, you may like to hear William Flynn's version of the old story of music's most famous engine driver. Get out the red flag and blow your whistles. Here comes Casey Jones. Johnny Burke and Jimmy Van Heusen have written many of my favorite tunes, and I imagine yours too. They evidently appeal to Bing Crosby just as strongly as their many scores for Crosby films indicate. I'm quite sure a slice of the Crosby fortune came in from the royalties on this one, from Road to Utopia. It's a song called Moonlight Becomes You. It goes with your hair. You certainly know the right thing to wear. Moonlight becomes you. I'm thrilled at the sight, and I could get so romantic tonight. Dressed up to go dreaming. Now don't tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming. Mind if I tag along? If I say I love you, I want you to know it's not just because there's becomes you so.
You're all dressed up to go dreaming. Now don't tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming. Mind if I tag along?
If I say I love you, I want you to know it's not just because there's moonlight, although moonlight becomes you so.
And so we turn the last page of manuscript for Melody, Just Melody, written by Geoff Brooke, produced by Alfred Potter, and directed by Cedric Zahara. You heard guest artist Freddie Thomas and his trumpet, Rita Stafford, the Parkettes with orchestra and musical arrangements under the direction of William Flynn, and of course the romantic voice of your singing host, Geoff Brooke. We do hope you'll join us again soon for more Melody, Just Melody. And until then, here's Geoff to sign off with.
If you say you'll always stay, I know our life will be melody, just melody.